there, everyone. Linda Murphy here again. Today I'd like to talk about Women's Empowerment series in Belmont, North Carolina. My business partner, Amber Vernon, and I decided a few years ago that we wanted to create a series to bring like-minded women together, like-hearted women together, to create a community of women and to have a situation where everyone can come to be their authentic selves. And it's a wonderful and very empowering and powerful group of women that we meet monthly, and it has been awesome. We've been so thrilled to have brought this to the community. So I'd like to share with you a personal experience that happened to me revolving around the Empowerment series. But first, I have to give you a background story. A few years before Amber and I created the series, the Empowerment series, I had a couple different intuitive readings. And when you have an intuitive reading, it's information that's given to the reader. In my case, the reader's name is Michael. Given to Michael from my guides, from a higher self, and he would share that information that's given to him of how I can help myself move forward on my life pathway, my life purpose. So I was given a lot of different information from each of those readings, but what I crack up is every single time I had a reading, there's a common thread that came through. And this common thread was, Linda, you're supposed to be doing public speaking, podcasts, videos for YouTube, and write a book. At least 3 of my readings incorporated that common thread. And I would crack up. It's like, Michael, I'm not doing public speaking. I had a situation 30 some odd years ago, crashed and burned. I promised myself I would never, ever do public speaking again. And as for podcast and video, that kind of goes under the same umbrella of kind of public speaking. I don't see me doing that. And a book, what would I write about? He goes, Linda, your journey, your life, you have had so many experiences that would be really helpful for other people to hear how you managed and how you went through your journey. And I had to sit with that for a little bit, and then we were talking about it a little bit more. And he goes, no, I really think at least write the book. So the book was relatively easy for me to write. And yes, I did write it. It was easy for me to write because it's based on my journey and all the things I learned as a result initially from my breast cancer experience. But I have grown so much from that. And this is all incorporated into the book. So I had Michael read it, and he goes, that's exactly what you need to do. That you need to get your information out there for people because it will be very helpful for others. I'm like, okay. And the reason why I decided to write the book is that was the safest out of all the options that he had said that I should be doing. So I thought, I can write a book. So I finished the book in just a few months, and I put it up on a shelf, knowing there's probably going to be a few more chapters that I was going to add to this book. So I got that done, but I was not going to do those other 3 things that he had said because I was like stymied with fear. So now I'm going to jump back to the Women's Empowerment series that Amber and I were creating, and it was coming time for us to launch our first meeting, and we got together, and she goes, Linda, we need a person who does introductions. She goes, I think that should be you. I'm like, what, me? I don't want to do any public speaking, no. She goes, no, I think it'd be really good if you were the one that did the introduction. So, of course, I said no a few times, and then I sat with it. And Amber does have this loving and unbelievable way of nudging me. She's got this power with me, which I love. And after a little bit, I agreed. I said, okay, I'll do it. After I agreed, I was like, me? Seriously? I can't believe it. So for about 3 weeks before I was going to be the introduction person, the introducer, as I call myself, I was preparing my speech. It's maybe a 7-minute speech of introduction of what we were about and all this other kind of stuff that I needed to say. And I was preparing this beforehand. And as I am rehearsing this little speech I'm going to do, all the symptoms that come through your body as a result of this fear happened. My hands start shaking, my voice is shaking, my heart's going like this. I was a hot mess. And this is just the preparation before I'm going in front of the audience. So now it comes the night of the audience. And I'm a hot mess in front of, or prior to this meeting. So I breathe deep, this and that. I get up in front of this whole group. And I decided I was going to bring everyone along on this journey with me. I wanted them to know of my absolute total fear of public speaking. I wanted them to be part of this journey. And for them to witness somebody who was having a really tough time get out from behind the rock of the fear face it head on, and move forward. I felt like this group of women would be the perfect opportunity for me to learn how to public speak, because I knew they were there. There's no judgment in this group of women. They were just there. They were full of, I could feel the energy from them. They were full of love and support. And I also knew there probably were some women in the audience that had the same fear that I had, and they weren't going to do it either, like I wasn't going to do it. But I did have to reflect on the readings I had said, that this is what my higher self and my guides were telling me I needed to do this. So I couldn't keep on hiding behind that rock of fear. So I got out in front of it. The women were there. Their energy was so supportive, and I managed to get through maybe 7 minutes worth. And I'm telling you, every single symptom that happens, it was there. The tears coming down my eyes, my heart's going like this, my voice is shaking, my hands are shaking, they're clammy, everything. But I got through it. It wasn't a pretty picture, but I got through it. And everyone was so kind afterwards, very, very supportive. And some people came up to me afterwards and said, good job, Linda, and this and that. And that always feels real good. It's like, I did it. I'm getting through my fear. So this woman comes up to me. She goes, Linda, she goes, you're doing it. Good for you for doing it. I'd like to offer to help you. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, in the future, she goes, I'm going to be in the audience. And she goes, find me, and I'll help you through this. Her name is Jennifer. I'd never met Jennifer before, and this is the first time. And I was so touched at that moment that Jennifer was willing to do this for me, to help me through my fear. This to me is a testimony of what this woman's series is about, that she was willing to be there and be my cheerleader. I said, okay, Jennifer, I'll do that. So the next meeting, she and I talked a little bit before I was supposed to get on stage to be the introducer. And I said, if I need you, I'm going to reach out to you. She goes, absolutely, I'll be there for you. So I did need her. I was in the middle of my introduction, and I mean, all of these symptoms just overcame me, and I shut down. I was quiet. And I was like, oh my gosh, and of course I'm in front of all these women. This is happening. But I knew that they were going to support me through this. That's who they are. So I called out to Jennifer, found her in the audience, and she and I had a couple moments to ourselves. Everyone else is watching this, but Jennifer and I connected eye to eye. And I go like this when I call on her. This is the energy that we are transferring between each other. And then I go like this, and she's going like this, and she helps me through it. I mean, is this awesome that somebody is there to help pick you up when you're going through one of the biggest fears in your life? She was there for me. So after about 10 seconds of working with Jennifer, I was able to continue on and finish my introduction. And this is how I was able to progress through the rest of my introductions, at least for a while, still having a tremendous amount of fear. But I got in front of that rock of fear. I was going to face it head on, and Jennifer was there to help me out. And there have been times that I just would shut down like I explained, and it's like, Jennifer! That's exactly what I'd say, Jennifer! And she'd raise her hand, and we'd connect and all that. And it was just so beautiful. And the feeling that I got from this group of women is they were going to be there. They were there. They were going to catch me if I was going to fall. And to be in a group of women like that is so powerful. I mean, it kind of blew my mind how powerful this felt for me. And I felt empowered because I was facing my fear. And I also felt the powerfulness of this group of women, that they were there to help support me. So to me, that's one of the biggest testaments of the beauty of this women's empowerment series in Belmont, North Carolina. It has been an awesome ride for sure.